Hello, my name is Darren Lyford. Thank you for joining in to listen to my presentation. Today's topic concerns the development of an athlete. Now, many of us have favorite athletes that we follow through professional sports. And I'm going to talk about some of these athletes that play these professional sports. My thesis statement goes as follows. Since many professional athletes played multiple sports during their youth developing years, schools, state, and local governing bodies must seriously consider offering as many options as we can for our children to develop as such. The state of Arkansas should be more serious about developing youth hockey and ice arena sports to help develop our children athletes. The existing scientific data reveal that early sport specialization with only one sport can be detrimental to long-term success of team sports. This is from USA Today. According to the American Medical Society for Sports Medicine, students younger than age 10 should not play a competitive sport, just one sport year-round. A UCLS sports specialization survey out of 296 NCAA Division I male and female athletes, they said average age 19 found that 88% participated in an average of 2 to 3 sports as children. 70% did not specialize in a single sport until after the age of 12. So what I want to talk about now are some of these professional athletes that played multiple sports. One such athlete is a gentleman named Tom Glavine. Tom Glavine was a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. He's a Hall of Famer. But most people do not know that in 1984 he was drafted by the Los Angeles Kings to play ice hockey. He was drafted ahead of Brett Hall, Luc Robitaille, players that now are Hall of Famers. And he also mentioned that hockey was his first love. NFL quarterback Tom Brady. Many people did not know that he was drafted by the Montreal Expos. He was a standout catcher. He had left-handed hitting power. He led his high school team in baseball. He had scouts that drafted him, seriously considered him to be a professional baseball player. Another quarterback as well is Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford currently plays for the Minnesota Vikings. Little people knew that in his youth he was a standout youth hockey player. He was coached by 3-time Stanley Cup winner Mike McEwen. What did Mike McEwen say about him? He said he had a really great slap shot. He saw the ice very well. He was a great playmaker. He was the captain of the team, and he had a great work ethic. And also mentioned the possibility that he could have been a professional NHL hockey player. So with these 3 examples, it makes one wonder if you took out the sport that they did other than what they became professionally known as, did these other sports help them develop into the talent that they became? Now I want to turn the attention to the current youth hockey situation here in the state of Arkansas. In Arkansas, we have 2 ice arenas. We have one located in Little Rock off Bowman Street. It's called the Arkansas Stadium. It's been here since 1977. If you ever go into that arena, make sure you bring plenty of blankets, bring some down, thick, warm clothing if you're not going to be on the ice skating, because this is not a modern facility. The other arena is located in Springdale, Arkansas, and that's called the Jones Center. Now this one is a little bit nicer, but the bottom line is we have two. Just two ice arenas in the state. Now, can you imagine if the state had just two football stadiums? What would competition be like if that was the case? So, they do have a youth hockey program, believe it or not, and I know most people don't even know it exists. So here's where the competition lies. You have to go to Nashville, Huntsville, Atlanta, St. Louis, Tulsa, Oklahoma City. Where are parents and players going to find the time to do this? You have to be a diehard player in order for this to happen. It's not fair for these people because Arkansas doesn't offer the program. Most parents simply cannot afford to travel. The numbers are too low to establish any real competitive levels. Most Arkansans are not even aware hockey exists in the state. And we could certainly stand for some long overdue improvement. Now let's talk about the myths. Why hockey doesn't work in Arkansas. One such myth is it's stereotyped as a northern sport. Really? Okay, it's northern except for, what, Nashville, Dallas, Miami, some of these other areas. I don't need to mention the main cities. You go outside of the main cities, it's established, it's loved, it's embraced, just like football is here, people. Hockey is too dangerous. Well, bottom line is, it is a contact sport, right? But there's a lot of equipment people wear. If we were to compare the injuries with hockey with soccer, for example, football, hockey is not dangerous, people. That is a myth. Arkansas is a poor state, and I'm going to get in on this just a minute. Apparently, we are too poor to build ice arenas. Hockey's a rich man's sport. Hockey interferes with football and other sports. These myths need to simply stop being excuses that rob our youth of what they could really enjoy, what families could enjoy. So let me tell you what the real reasons are why hockey fails in Arkansas. One is this perpetual ignorance and complacency. Get stuck in our own ways. The hockey's been around since the 1920s, okay? And it's time to see just how and why it is so embraced in every state. Once it comes, it stays because people love it. You have an absence of a visionary leader to get this going. I'll do whatever I can, people. I'll do what I can to get this thing going. And another thing we have to talk about is the myopic and costly spending of other worthless products instead. The one product I'm going to talk about, people, is this crumb rubber turf that you're seeing going into high school stadiums, college stadiums. It's like a cancerous plague. You have these lobbyists going into the school boards, going into the town leaders, getting people to sign on, jump on board. Let's rip out the natural grass and put in crumb rubber. Grass, by the way, grows so well in Arkansas. Really, we're going to rip out grass and we're going to substitute it with the stuff. And I remember the days where football used to be good. You go to a football stadium, you didn't smell this burnt rubber, this permeating plastic, to where you're getting a headache just being in the stadiums. Can you imagine the poor players on the field when it's a hot, sunny day? You don't have to look too far beyond the science. You know the science will tell you that when heat and sun react with the turf, it's going to permeate chemicals. All right. Anyhow, we are exposing our children to fake and phony conditions. We're replacing the natural ones with an expensive substitute that is far more hazardous to their health. Crumb rubber turf for football stadiums for Arkansas, when Arkansas has the most fertile grass-growing soil in the country. We're spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on this, and this is the cynical reason why we simply don't have the money or the budget to afford something far more practical and better. I don't want to sound like a prophet here, people, but it would not surprise me one bit in 20 years if this stuff was illegal, it was outlawed, goodbye crumb rubber, go back to the natural ways. When these lobbyists are there going into the school boards, glorifying this stuff, it reminds me of the days back in the 1950s when the cigarette and tobacco companies were having doctors going on television commercials recommending a specific cigarette that's good for your health. Anyhow, here is why ice arenas should be constructed in Arkansas. We have ice hockey development that can help develop athletes for other sports. Okay, I've just mentioned 3 great athletes, and there's countless others. Ice hockey is a passion fully recognized in more southern states than just Arkansas. The technology has significantly improved for construction and the maintenance. Arkansas needs something new, people. We need an original, a different, and a proven wise choice. Arkansas has an opportunity. Learn from the failures and successes of other ice arena constructions. Ice arena construction will improve local businesses. Look at the mall in Hot Springs. It's dying. Look at the malls in Texas. You know what they do? They put in an ice arena. They have businesses, and they're happy. Let's get this thing going. Let's do it. The local businesses, they're going to be on board with this. Trust me. Ice arena will offer a healthy, active, and enjoyable opportunity for families, for children. Ice arenas will bring families and communities together. The leagues and annual competition can be established with all the success as there is in football, as there is in basketball, as there is in baseball. And you will not be breathing in that benzothiazole, feeling all nauseated like you would at a hot outdoor football stadium surfaced with crumb rubber turf. So, when hockey does become fully established, and it will, you're going to have competition that's going to increase. You're going to have multiple leagues that will form. Your ice arena is going to be busy year-round. And you're going to have other small businesses that are going to have an opportunity. People, my goal is to see 3 arenas built. 1 in Little Rock, 1 in Hot Springs, and 1 in Benton. It can be done. You start with 3 arenas. You get 6 youth leagues going. And then once it goes, the chain will go. Let's get it done. Let's spend money wisely, and let's push for this. I appreciate you tuning into this.